debuted in Memphis. Since then, this has been a day of celebration league-wide, including in Houston now.
Yeah, so the Rockets, as you know, Zubin, have been in a bit of a skid since their 21-point loss to OKC on January 9th. They've lost 4 of 5 in the 10 days since, facing the Thunder again because everything comes full circle. And a little chippy at first. Maybe the Rockets are grumpy. I don't know. Off the Thunder miss. Keep an eye on Clint Capella. He just runs through Steven Adams. Sorry, I didn't see you there, even though you're almost 7 foot. And you see Adams is slow to get up. Just runs right into him. I don't know. Capella would be given a technical. Mike D'Antoni, not exactly happy. Chris Paul, for some reason, is in the mix too, because, you know, it's NBA, so everyone just starts jawing. But Adams would come back to shoot his free throws. He'd miss and then leave the game. That's significant because he bruised his knee last Wednesday against Toronto. It forced him to miss the Heat. That game in progress right now with the Rockets on top by 2 heading into the half.
Okay, El, here's a question for you. The Bucks are moving towards 70 wins. Why is there not as much talk about it like when the Bulls of the 90s or the Warriors of a few years ago? Isn't it weird?
Yeah, well, it's more.
That's true.
You know?
Maybe the obvious answers are what you need to go with. The obvious, perhaps, MVP again. They're looking for their league-leading 39th win. They're the first to 20 at home. They're undefeated in division play. Playing great basketball. I heard their owner say on the Woj podcast, it's all about creating a culture where Giannis will want to stay with his impending free agency. Looming a year or so away. Bulls in front. More NBA on the way here in just a second. El, we got back to Memphis, as I mentioned.
You did mention it. John Morant and the Grizzlies riding a 7-game win streak, longest in the NBA, and facing a Pelicans team who are expecting to play their final game without Zion on the floor. More on that coming up in just a little bit, but this one's going down. You see Lonzo Ball from deep. He gets the 3. Second quarter, John Morant drives. Nice layup. Oh, the handle. And later on, Melly with the 3. Another deep 3. 58-44. Pelicans on top right now with about 3:36 left in the first half.
It's great. We had 5 day games on a Monday to celebrate Martin Luther King Day. Kyrie out hamstring injury, so he's had the shoulder, he's had the hamstring. So all eyes on Ben Simmons, because remember, Embiid's already out as well for the Sixers, and he had a terrific game throwing it down. Sixers entered the game having won 3 in a row. The Nets have lost 3 in a row, though I heard Stephen A. say a few days ago he thinks Kenny Atkinson's doing an incredible job considering the circumstances. No KD. Kyrie situation. DeAndre Jordan's out with a dislocated finger. So you got this young kid, Claxton, 31st overall pick out of Georgia. And the one thing you're loving this year out of the NBA, whether it's a guy like Kendrick Nunn or a guy like Duncan Robinson or this guy, Claxton, there's just so many guys you maybe weren't aware of when the season began in October that are sort of opening it up. He had a career-high 15. Nets led by 4 at the half in the third. Simmons, the finish. We're going to hear from Ben here in just a bit on another triple-double. In the fourth, Simmons, say whatever you want about his shooting. His defense has never been in question with the steal. Thibault, who actually kind of made his name in college as a defensive player, and the Sixers extend their lead. Harris LeVert, another Nets guy that just can't stay healthy, but is super effective when he does. To Jared Allen, the Nets within 1. Great finish at the Barclays Center, working it here. Ball movement, and yes! The Sixers will take a 5-point lead, 10 ticks to go. Nets down 4. Simmons playing a little D again, getting that piece of Dinwiddie shot. Sixers roll. Triple-double for the man on your screen right now.
Just trying to win. I know Joel's out, so a lot of guys got to step up. I take a lot of responsibility in that, just being a leader. And offensively, I got to pick it up, so I'm glad we get this one.
The spirit of the group, the committed sort of team effort to play defense and, rally around each other was evident tonight. And we all sort of played off Ben. And he for sure was sort of the beacon to our defense. But as a group, as a team, we had many contributors tonight.
Including Ben. Let's go inside the numbers on the triple-double. 12 for 14 from the field, that 86% clip. The highest in a triple-double this season, edging out Giannis's 8 for 10 performance when he had a triple-double against the Knicks in December. El?
I think Zubin, every day is leg day, even on a holiday. Tim Legler joins us here. Let's talk a little bit about Simmons. You heard him say everybody's got to step up and do more within beat out. What'd you see him from today?
I love the fact that he's doing more things without the basketball, to putting himself in position. So when he catches it, we know he's a great finisher. The question is always, is he a willing finisher? And that's what he has been lately. 61% from the field this month. And what you're seeing are opportunities where he's in the dunk spot on the baseline. They're putting him more in pick and rolls where he's the screener, so then he can slip and then roll to the rim. He's got one of the best set of hands in the entire NBA. So when you get him on that pick and dive game, you get anywhere near him, he's going to be able to catch that and get it quickly up to the rim. I just think his aggressiveness has been at a different level without Joel Embiid. And that's what it's always going to come down to with Ben Simmons. And that's where the criticism comes from. Some nights when you see a passive stat line offensively, I think sometimes when Joel Embiid is out there, he defers a little bit and he counts on other guys. He has taken it upon himself, his own initiative, to get himself involved offensively. And this has been the best offensive run of his early career. There's two ways to get it from the point guard position, Al, in this league. You got to get one of them. Either you're going to get a lot of threes from that spot, probably shoot a lower percentage,
right,
or you're going to be a guy like this that's going to get a lot of opportunities at the rim and finish at a very high percentage. That's what Ben Simmons is doing right now. The Sixers 6-3 this month.
They are, and despite that, still sitting in the middle of the pack in the East, as are the Rockets, who I showed off the top of the show, currently winning right now, but lost 4 of their last 5, sitting at sixth in the West. Which start to you has been more surprising?
Probably Houston. I actually thought they took a step forward with Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
In the offseason, that's the way I viewed them. I thought he was going to bring a dimension to their team offensively that they hadn't had, because this was a slow-paced team. A lot of times James Harden's the last guy up the floor, and he was the only guy that had the basketball. And Chris Paul, when he was there, he wasn't playing at a breakneck speed either at that stage of his career. Westbrook has added that dimension, and I thought that would be something that would be complementary to James Harden. And some nights it is, but some nights they are so stagnant offensively, and if James Harden has a bad shooting night, they've had a hard time winning. I say they're more surprising that they don't have a better record probably than Philly, because Philly has missed Joel Embiid for 14 games.
Sure.
That's your best player. I think they're 8-6 in those games, but look, if you got him for 14, maybe you have another 4 or 5 wins at least. So this team could be maybe top 2, top 3 in the East. We'd look at them differently. So give them a pass because their best player's been out. That's not the case really in Houston.
Maybe even more surprising than either one of those teams is the team that the Rockets are facing right now, the Thunder. Where'd you come from?
One of the stories of the league,
It
no
really
doubt.
has been a great story. So has the story of Zion. So coming back, Legs is going to tell us the impact Zion could have when he makes his regular season debut on Wednesdays even.
Elle, thank you. Of course, that's coming Wednesday, a couple Sundays from now. 28-year-old Jimmy Garoppolo, 24-year-old Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl 54. How did Patrick get here? We kind of know this. Got to give the Chiefs a ton of credit. Not many people thought Mahomes was all that coming out of school. Played for an under 500 team at Texas Tech. But the Chiefs traded up to get him. His rookie campaign wasn't terrific, mostly because he didn't play, and that was out of design. And he has gone on to laud Alex Smith for all the help that he had given Mahomes. And then Patrick took over the 50-touchdown season, the MVP, 4 inches of a D Ford mistake from going to the Super Bowl. Instead, they lose in the AFC Championship game to Tom Brady, but not the case on Sunday. He didn't have the MVP season. He was hurt, so the stats weren't there. But they're going to the Super Bowl for the first time in nearly a half century. And Andy Reid says for Mahomes, it's about the other 52.
When he's in that building, I mean, it's all football, it's all team. He's never given it, it's about me. That's not where, I've never heard that from. It's all 100% about the team and how we're doing and what can we do better, where can I help, and then buckles down to get the game plan down. I mean, he studies. And for young guys out there, what a great example that is. For a young guy, I mean, he's a special kid. This city's lucky to have him. I mean, it's a nice matchup. Great fans and having a great quarterback like that.
Other than Mahomes, Andy might be the great story of Super Bowl week once they get there
100%.
to Miami. As for Garoppolo, didn't need to do much. Yet again, attempted just 8 passes in yesterday's win, completed 6, tied for the 3rd fewest in a playoff game in the Super Bowl era, sitting there with some Don Shula coached Dolphins team, so that's like a lifetime ago. We now get a fresh take from the PTI guys in their brand new studio, Tony and Mike, on if the 49ers can win it all playing this way with Jimmy G.
Guy Wilbon, can you envision the 49ers winning the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing less than 10 passes like he just did yesterday?
No, I cannot.
Even though he's done it twice.
Did he do it against a Kansas City Chiefs, a team that can score 51 and 35 in those 2 games? No, he didn't.
Nope.
So opposition matters. You don't just walk into the same, to every game with the same formula if your opponent is more potent. And Kansas City is the ultimate in potency right now. So he's going to have to throw, I'll give you an over-under. I'm going to say all the way up to 26, 27 passes. If he's behind, he's going to have to throw more than that. But he's certainly not going to get into the place where he's completing single-digit passes if they're going to have a chance to win.
So Tannehill completed single-digit passes when Derrick Henry ran and beat both New England and Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right? So
how'd that go yesterday?
It didn't go well.
Right.
It didn't go well. So you're making the automatic assumption
that Kansas City's going to score.
A lot.
Well, enough.
Okay. So that leads to me, the larger question here about Garoppolo is not how many passes he throws. It's can he win a game if that game depends on him. If their running is out of play because Kansas City is so far. What we know about Patrick Mahomes is he can win a game. We just watched him win 2 games in a row. We watched him in the last 6 quarters of those games put up 86 points. Can Jimmy Garoppolo do that?
Bill Belichick didn't want to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo if we believe the reporting that was going on at the time, which means he thought a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo, if asked to win the Super Bowl, can do it?
Don't know. I know Patrick Mahomes can. Don't
know. That's a push.
Don't know.
Mr. Vegas?
Don't know.
We're done for now.
And then I'd lose the VIG.
Back to you.
I think. The VIG still works, doesn't it? I have no idea.
It's okay to admit that you just don't know. Coming up with a new number 1 in college basketball today, Jay Bill is standing by live to assess who is now the team to beat this season. And counting down to Lakers versus Celtics, inside AD's impact on his return tonight, and Kemba Walker's epic losing streak to LeBron.